I could spend days. Let me just share with you quickly so that we can get on. If I walk into a building, church, building, auditorium, and a man walks up to that pulpit and tells me that he just wants to share from his heart, I'm pretty much going to get up and walk out because I really don't care what's in his heart. Now, there are testimonies and all sorts of things, and I'm not going to an extreme. But what I'm trying to tell you, people of God, is the greatest need you have is preaching. Preaching. You say, oh, of course, you're a preacher. That's why you say that. Well, let me then finish. Preaching is not an end. So let me humble myself before you. It is not an end. It is a means to an end. And the end is worship in true holiness. You say, oh, just singing songs. No, worship is walking. Worship is talking. Worship is living. Worship is loving. Worship is dying to self and being a servant. We need preaching. But preaching without transformation is just clutter. Preaching is probably one of the most pathetic things that's ever been contrived. Because without the power of the Holy Spirit, it's words. Words. Without the power of the Holy Spirit, worship. Blocks of wood coming out of the mouths of men. Nothing more. What's our need? Truth? Yes. Theology? Correct. Preaching, absolutely. But let me sum it all up for you. God. We need God. I used to teach young preachers. In order to preach, you've got to preach with the power of God on your life. Now I tell them in order to tie your shoes, you have to have the power of God on your life. So he says, I make known to you, brethren, the gospel which I preached to you. There's a real sense in which mass evangelism is an oxymoron, like jumbo shrimp. Mass evangelism. What does that mean? God saves a mass of people. No, God saves individuals. My only hope here today is that the Holy Spirit can take one message and apply it to many different people with many different needs. People are not numbers. They have different color eyes, different color skin, and they all bleed when they get cut. People are not numbers. Whenever we think about something big, that the Lord might send a thunderbolt from heaven and destroy the whole lot of us, we don't think about mass, we think about people. We don't think about anything else. We don't miss the forest or the trees. It is my prayer that the gospel of Jesus Christ, that the words that are spoken here today, that the worship arrives to each and every one of you as individuals, preaching to you, eye to eye, to you. I most certainly want you to know I am not a prophet or the son of a prophet, and I do not know what's going on in your heart or the needs you have, but there is a God here today who does. Call upon Him. But be ready to respond in obedience when He answers. He says, which I preach to you, which also you received. I don't have to rant and rave here this morning about how truncated and impotent the gospel that is being preached, the so-called gospel that is being preached in America today truly is. We have so many people. You know, we're always wanting to talk about people outside of ourselves. It almost seems appropriate to hear, physician, heal thyself. If I were to dismiss this church and go out into this entire state, if you were to go back to my state, and just start walking around and start bumping into people, visiting houses, you know what you would find? A almost everybody in America has prayed to receive the gospel. But very, very, very few of them are actually, truly Christian. We have taken one of the most beautiful passages in the world, this gospel which you received, and turned it into nothing more than some sort of ecclesiastical creedal system, some kind of religious loop that you jump through in order to get to heaven. We primarily do it to our children. I'll give you an example. Get a bunch of children together and say, how many of you want to go to heaven? Have you ever seen a child raise their hand and say, why no, I'd rather go to hell? How many of you children want to go to heaven? They all raise their hand, and then you ask them the next question. Well, would you like to ask Jesus to come into your heart? Well, of course. And so they do. And we turn them into twofold sons of hell. What does it mean to receive Jesus? Does it mean to repeat a prayer? Is that what it truly means, just to repeat a prayer? I know of one evangelist who actually did this. He said, the man came forward, he said, do you want to receive Jesus? He said, yeah, well, I guess. And he said, well, and call out to the Lord. And he said, well, I really don't know how to do that. He said, well, then, repeat these words after me. And he says, well, I feel uncomfortable saying these things out loud. And I said, well, just say them quietly. And he goes, well, still, I just don't like what you've got going here. And the evangelist said, I tell you what, I'll say the words, and if these words mean anything to you, squeeze my hand. So the power of God has been so reduced that all he can get out of a man in the work of regeneration is a tightening of the fist. Now, my dear friend, we do not need to look any farther than our own lives. We don't need to go jumping out here condemning everybody else. Let's look at us. What does it mean to receive Jesus? It's a scandal. That's what it means. It means to eat His flesh and drink His blood. It means to take Him in. You receive Him as the very substance of your life. He is not an accessory. He is not a part of your life. He is not a thing you do. He is your life. Now, how does that apply to you?